All right, up next, we have the team from CVS, Kelli, Garvey, and Rachel Gates. We were supposed to have Brenda Lord, the VP, as well, and you may have noticed she is not with us today. She actually was able to record a video. So if you could play the video of Brenda.
Wow, Christopher, I'm so thrilled about this conference, another conference after a long period of time. I always find that when you're in the discussion that we collectively think a little more deeply, and the net result is that we'll be better for it. This is an industry that has great potential, and I appreciate your leadership and your work in it. You and I have been able to work together for many years, and since I'm not able to introduce myself directly, I'm Brenda Lord, and I lead the store brands team at CVS Health. I've always gravitated towards work that paints an opportunity for us to do something better for our customers. We're 4 years into this journey as a team to serve our customers in new ways. Through an extensive refresh of our brand portfolio so that we're more relevant to today's customer, and an ambitious commitment to be customer-driven and innovate in new ways. Our commitment at CVS Health includes a focus on collaboration and innovation, topics that you've been talking about this week. This is a really exciting time at CVS Health. As a company, we continue to make bold decisions around public health and making healthcare more accessible. This includes getting out of tobacco back in 2014, and in 2019, introducing our beauty mark, where we committed to stopping using digitally altered graphics in our images. Research shows that this detracts from women feeling like their best selves. And now our teams are working tirelessly through the pandemic to deliver vaccines, education, new support to our frontline workers, and continuing to navigate with all of you the endless supply chain challenges. Throughout this challenging period, our obsession with how to lead, not follow, in our own store brands business continues. We're focused on our customer and what it takes as a business to serve through these challenging times. You and I have talked in past collaborations about this, and I'm really thrilled by your commitment to continue to foster an environment that we can all wrestle with how to do this for our customer. Our team walks the tricky line of leveraging design thinking and innovation and how to do that even across a large organization without a lot of budget to do that. We remain committed, and you've heard me talk about this before, about the notion of day two. And this is a concept that is inspired by work that Brene Brown has done. And explain briefly. She describes this messy, uncomfortable place where you've left the excitement, the invigoration, and the creativity of the beginning of a project, the beginning of an initiative. And yet you can't really see how it's all going to work out. And this is the magic of where the work really happens, but it's uncomfortable. I so wish I could be there in person with you today. Rachel and Kelli and Heather are all amazing partners that are doing really great work, and I'm excited for you to hear about the work that's going on. Our work with Michael Graves Design has been so meaningful. It was obvious from the beginning that there was a significant need that hadn't been met adequately. And you're going to hear in more detail about this work, about the clarity we got through our customer research, and about our passion for design, improved aesthetic, and turning that into something that has been associated with fear, shame, and frustration, and instead making it something that really helped people cope with life and be proud in new ways. Along the way, we've made this personal. I had so many people in mind while we were designing this, including my own dad that has had spine challenges and also loves design and architecture. I can't be there in person today because in late March, I was diagnosed with brain cancer and I'm currently underway treatment on that. I feel so fortunate and blessed to live in an area that has so much going on with medical advancements. And I feel really good. This fuels me in new ways to uncover how to improve the customer journey and our patient journey. And I invite you to join me in this transformative work that we're all doing. As Christopher says, be bold.
We're honored to be here on Brenda's behalf. As you can see, she truly lives the ethos of innovation and being bold. And to her point about day 2, this specific project had a lot of day 2s. And without Brenda's support and passion and belief in this project, Kelli and I probably would have thrown in the towel a few times. So we're really honored to be here on her behalf, and it would not have been possible without her. So keep that in mind as we go through it. This is not an easy one to bring to launch, but we are really excited that it's here, it's in stores, and we used customer research along the way that we'll walk you through. So quick intros. I think we've spoken to most of you over the last couple days. My name is Rachel Gates. I run product innovation for our healthcare business, and Kelli Garvey is their director of brand for our healthcare business. To anchor the conversation, wanted to start with CVS Enterprise vision of transforming health and wellness in America. It's a really big, audacious goal, and hopefully you heard from us the last couple days and from Brenda how passionate we are about this and how we can translate that into front store through our private label brands. As most of you probably know, we have a lot of locations. So we have great scale and unique reach with over 9,000 storefronts across the country. Last year, we had over 100 million consumers come through our doors, and 85% of Americans live within 10 miles of a CVS store. That proximity gives us the amazing ability to be the trusted wellness healthcare partner for our consumers in their day-to-day lives. And what that means for private label is we are the vehicle where that comes alive on shelves in our front store every day. CVS Health is our core brand in healthcare and is how we can translate that big, audacious goal that the enterprise has into our product.
So this is how many of you guys know our CVS Health brand. It's a small brand of just 3,000 items, which I know to some of the grocery folks does not sound like a lot, but it is a lot for a drugstore. It spans 31 different categories. What you most know is I heard a couple people talking about buying some allergy meds at a CVS, but we've also been constantly innovating in the brand for decades. Whether it be something like our electrolyte expansion or dye-free cold remedies, innovation is something that is embedded into the CVS Health brand. But with the Michael Graves project, we saw a really unique opportunity to really do innovation in a different way, really own innovation and really make it truly consumer driven from the ground up.
So CVS Health as a brand has played in the home healthcare space and in durable medical equipment. It was a very sad aisle to shop, quite candidly, and it's been very commoditized. So you would find the same blue boxes at CVS Health as you would at Walgreens and Walmart. When we met with the Michael Graves design team back in 2018, there was a synergy and an energy that we knew we had to capitalize on and work with them to change the narrative in this category for our consumers. So brief background on them, they're an amazing design and architecture firm. They're most well known in the retail space for their work with Target and the Tea Kettle. It was one of Target's first collaborations in the retail space. But Michael Graves himself actually became an end user of this product unexpectedly from a sinus infection. He became paralyzed, and his team, who we worked with on this project, watched him navigate the category, shopping for product, working with the product, and having to adapt his life to the product, which is the opposite of what we all want to create. So we met with them. We knew the synergies between the CVS passion in this category and their expertise in design and empathy for the user was just a match made in heaven. And we were really excited to work with them. And as Brenda mentioned, we start everything with consumer research, right? We wanted to know their pain points. We wanted to know how we could make things better. So we kicked off the project back in 2019, talking to consumers.
So we were really lucky to go talk to a variety of consumers, and they all opened up to us in really unique ways. Some of us told us that they could have just gotten a stick out of their yard, and that probably would have been better than the selection they saw in the stores, which that hurt a little one. And then other consumers kind of went a level deeper, and they said, you know, the Helen of 20 years ago is not the Helen who she is today. And they let us know about the emotions and the struggles that they were facing. But one of the most touching stories and really just brought this to life for me was went to a consumer's home in New Jersey. And it was this really amazing couple. They had just retired, and the husband and the wife had went on to their vacation home in New Hampshire. The husband was laying on a hammock, and he fell off the hammock only about 10 inches, and he broke his neck. 2 surgeries later, he was paralyzed from the neck down. This couple was brought into this category overnight. And I think we think a lot about home health care as just someone who's aging, or I'll need that when I'm older. But there are people who need these very suddenly and very traumatically. And so while they're dealing with this, you know, these huge traumatic events, they have to go learn a completely new category, and they have to go learn about all these new products. And so when I learned about this, you know, home health care, it feels really functional. We're talking about really great things like raised toilet seats and walkers, but it's more emotional than beauty. Imagine coming into this category and feeling like there's so much stigma around it and there's just so much emotion. So we learned a tremendous amount from our consumers, and that really gave us a jumping off point for Rachel and the team to go build all of the amazing product we're about to tell you about.
So to both Kelli and Brenda's point, we employed design thinking, which we do for a lot of our big innovation projects, and made sure that we didn't deter far from the consumer at any step through the process. So those in-home interviews, which predated me, but Kelli actually went, and hopefully you can tell from her passion of hearing the stories, all of that drove our ideation and concepting. So we took the pain points from both how people were shopping and finding product, the poor ability to research their decisions, the impulsive nature of like, you are spending hundreds of dollars overnight. Like, how can we make this better for you? How can we make you feel a little bit better about what you're purchasing? That all fed our ideation, where we thought through both the design and the aesthetic of the product, and then also the functionality. We didn't want to just design a prettier walker. We wanted to make it easier to use, safer to use, sturdier. So throughout the design process, we took concepts back to consumer testing. So we've heard through a lot of presentations this week. We shifted from in-home to virtual at this stage in the process due to the pandemic, but we still put concepts in front of end users, caregivers, and occupational therapists to make sure we were staying true to the real pain point we were solving for. Throughout the consumer testing, we refined the concepts, we kept ideating until we felt really strongly about what we wanted to prototype, and then we went into development. Something unique about this project, and why I say we were in day 2 for a long time, is that we broke a lot of the traditional CVS processes. So anyone at a big retailer, I'm sure you can imagine, there is a lot of red tape when developing a net new product. So not only were we creating products, but we are manufacturing it, we own the IP, and it is a proprietary CVS line, which is amazing. It looks amazing now, it was really hard to do. So innovation is hard, but we stayed true to the consumer need, and that's really what drove the full process. So as you can see, I keep looking back like it's back there, our nice sexy DME line, as sexy as DME can get, and we were really excited what came true to the market through all of this research. So we focused on both mobility and bath items, and I'm going to take you through kind of a brief overview of how the product sits on shelves today. And Kelli is going to Vanna White for me a little bit with the cane. And we do have the cane sample back at the booth, so if anyone wants to play around with it. The cane is a hero item for us for a couple of reasons, but one of the things we heard from consumers was that they ended up injuring themselves because they were resistant to using a cane. They knew they had mobility challenges, but there was a stigma and embarrassment, and instead of just using the cane, they would couch surf and furniture surf around their house to stay balanced, and they ended up falling, hurting themselves further. So the cane is really that like entry point to this category and what it stands for. So our folding cane, hero item, we set out to make this really easy to fold, unfold, fold up, so that you can take it along with you wherever you're going. It's very satisfying with the magnets to fold up, able to open with one hand, thank you, Kelli, and a really easy push button for height adjustment. So thinking through dexterity issues, a lot of canes, there's just like a metal push button, which is hard to do even if you don't have dexterity issues. So both of the canes have that push button feature and really nice elevated matte finishes, colors. We thought through the design aesthetic as well. The C-handle cane, it's a unique shape because it will actually sit on the edge of a table, on the edge of a desk, wherever you're going. You can also hang a bag on it. So thinking through not only safety as you're walking, but when you get to where you're going, how can this product be better for you? I'll go a little faster through the rest. I know like bath items are very exciting. The walker, same finishes and same details, thinking through dexterity. So we have pull triggers, which are those little rings. It's an easy fold. One of the things we developed was once it's folded up, it actually creates a center of gravity to move it, which current walkers don't have. So thinking through how you're maneuvering it while folded, that center of gravity makes it a whole lot easier if you have balance issues. And then the wheels and the feet are interchangeable. So we heard from a lot of consumers that nothing really fit what they needed, which is why the like tennis balls exist on the walkers, which we love. We sell a lot of tennis balls at CVS, but like it's not the most beautiful. So these feet were designed with a smart feature. So you actually press down on the walker if there's weight applied and a felt tip comes out through the center of the foot. So it serves the same purpose. You do not need the tennis balls and it stays really sleek and designed looking. All of the bath items, we focused on kind of an upscale satin nickel finish. We talked a lot about Pinterest-worthy bath items. So consumers were embarrassed quite often to bring friends and family over because they had this medical equipment in their bathrooms. So we wanted to make something that was not embarrassing, that didn't stick out like a sore thumb. And we feel really good about how these finishes came to life. The one big feature of the commode that you see here is that the arms will actually fold up and down, which makes it much safer for consumers to transfer on and off of the product. It's also a feature that's only available at like the $300 or $400 price point in the market today. So we not only made it better, but we're offering it at a better value, better price point for consumers. The last two items, I know the toilet seat doesn't look like much, but we put a lot of thought into how we could make this better. Consumers told us it was not stable, it was not sturdy, and it was really hard to take on and off for family members to use the same bathroom. So underneath that seat, there are grips all along. It stays very securely to the toilet seat, and then the clamp mechanism makes it an easy push button. Take it off, press the clamps back in, and it stays. Last item, the shower chair. Again, thinking through how we can make it easier for consumers to be safe while using the product. The back actually comes off and that back bar acts as a towel bar. So while you're in the shower, you can put any items that you need there. There's also a shower head holder that pivots in and out, can go on either side of the chair. And some of the reviews we've gotten from consumers online, that's been their favorite aspects, that they can just stick the shower head on whatever side makes the most sense for them in their shower. So obviously I could talk about the bath items for quite a while, but Kelli had the hard job of communicating everything I just said to you to the consumers through our launch planning. So I'm gonna have her take you through that.
Well, the good thing is you made us really amazing products. So we had a lot of really great things to talk about. So when we had the challenge of bringing these products to life, we focused on three very important things. The first was breaking the stigma. We heard over and over again from consumers that they felt like nothing in this category was made for them. They felt embarrassed and ashamed. And so how could we make marketing that really enticed them and made them think about these products in a different way? And then of course, spotlighting the product. I love to call this the OXO of home healthcare. I've said that a couple times to Rachel. And I love the little features, and they're little features that make such a huge difference in the way that the product is made. And then amplifying our brand. We've talked a lot about CVS Health's right to be a leader in this space. And so we really wanted to make sure that consumers understood that this was coming from CVS Health and that they could trust these products. So we worked to bring the Michael Graves world to life. As good of a Vanna as I am, we decided to focus on photography. So what we wanted to do was we wanted to make sure that we were bringing these products to life in a really fresh way. And so we worked with our team partners at Marks, and we came up with this kind of Michael Graves world. We focused on things that would tell the consumer that they didn't have to compromise. They could get support without compromise, that these products had everything they needed. We focused on really rich colors to go against our product shots, and we focused on zoomed in images. We made a really strategic decision here to not use lifestyle photography, as it can appear very tone deaf, especially when we talked about going into consumers' homes, hearing these stories from them. To put an aspirational lifestyle image felt incredibly wrong, and we feel like we really honored our consumers by really focusing and making these products look beautiful. We love our, CVS Health Michael Graves logo. We really honored Michael through a lot of our pieces as well to tell his story. We love the partnership so much with the Michael Graves design team. We did not want that to go unnoticed as well. And we also focused on, enhancing the digital experience. These boxes are kind of big, and we don't have a lot of shelf space. So we really wanted to make sure that when the consumer got online, they did have videos that I wasn't in, and then also lots of really great photography to tell them all about these products. Like Rachel said, they're high rings too, so the consumer's doing a tremendous amount of research. So we really focused on taking all this beautiful imagery and getting it on CVS.com. And then we've been so thrilled and honored with the positive press outreach we've gotten, who have specifically this article in Fast Company. And so we had also a publication in Forbes too. But with Fast Company, we were really excited because, as you can tell, Rachel and I love talking about this project. And Mark Wilson, the writer for Fast Company, really brought our passion into an online article that we were really proud of. And he talked about how impactful it is for these products to be at CVS. And like Rachel said, 85% of Americans live within 10 miles of CVS. And many of you told me about how you have 3 in your corner, but you love your favorite CVS, or, you just went there before the conference to pick up maybe some toiletry you forgot. Our brand is embedded into this country. Like, everyone knows CVS, and we have such a powerful brand. So to have these incredibly innovative products be at CVS is really, really impactful, and we're so, so happy that they are here. And then lastly, as if it wasn't exciting enough, we partnered with Selma Blair. So Selma Blair, for those who don't know her, she was an actress in many movies in the early 2000s, movies like Cruel Intentions and Legally Blonde, which was one of my favorites. And she was recently, in the past few years, diagnosed with MS. She shares her journey with MS very authentically on her Instagram page. She also had a documentary come out where she talked about her journey with MS, and she has been an incredible partner for this launch. We collaborated with her on a paid partnership via Instagram. We also have been sending direct mails and emails to our consumers with her imagery in it. And she's really a great partner because she's really authentic in her partnership. She partnered with, was always excited about it from day one. When she got the product, she told us that it was satisfyingly perfect to use the cane, which, I think we showed that here.
Yeah,
so.
I think I looked at that quote directly too in my presentation.
We loved satisfyingly perfect. We couldn't have said it better ourselves. But what's been even, outside of obviously we've gotten so much great press from her, but the consumers that are following her have posted such incredible things in comments like, you made me feel not ashamed to use a cane. You made me feel like I didn't have to be scared to use this product. And her followers are so invested in her journey and follow it so closely. And so for them to say those types of things was really impactful on her page. She also was recently on the Today Show on Thursday, and they had a shot of her in her house just using the cane. That was organic, so we were really excited about that. But it really just showed that she loves this product. We've seen her on her Instagram and her book tour. Her memoir just came out yesterday. So I encourage you to check out Selma, watch her documentary, check out her posts on Instagram about the cane. She's really, really inspiring. Our favorite quote, however, that we loved was, "You look fabulous in red," which we happen to agree with. So thank you guys so much for letting us talk about this product. It's been incredible to share it with you.